The webinar of yes, yet another security. This webinar is about a tool written by me, Calidus. This is basically a tool which uses O365 services for establishing your CNC communication, and this services are mostly whitelisted across the network. Let's begin with the webinar. The tool name is Calidus. I'll give you the intro about the tool, about the O365 services and stuff. So let's go on the agenda for today. Agenda for today is like I'll give you a short intro about myself. I'll give you some brief about what is O365 and what all are the various components of O365. I'll also give you an intro about what is Microsoft Graph and why Microsoft Graph is important and what all we can do with that. Then it comes all about my tool. I'll give you an intro about my tool Calidus, what it does, and we'll view a demo as well. I'll also show you some pointers which can be helpful for detecting and preventing this tool. Probably, if someone uses this tool in your environment for some engagement, some red teaming activity, these pointers can be helpful for you to detect Calidus. So let's start with my intro. My name is Chirag Savla. My interest areas are red teaming operations, application network pen testing. I'm also interested in developing offensive security tools. These tools can be useful for red teaming, for doing pen test, and various different things. I blog at exploitcoder.blogspot.com, and you can find me on Twitter at chiragsavla94. So let's begin the presentation with a quote. There's one of my favorite quote. As an offensive researcher, if you can dream it, someone has likely already done it. And that someone isn't the kind of person who speaks at SecurityCon. This quote was been quoted by Matt Graber in Black Hat 2015 when he gave a talk about WMI. So let's begin with what is Office 365. Basically, I think everyone would be aware of Microsoft is heavily using cloud and moving all its solutions on cloud. So Office 365 is a subscription-based suite of Office applications which is offered by Microsoft, and it is like a single point of solution which can help you in your business, in your corporate environment, in XYZ areas. Like it comes with Office applications which are commonly used like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook for email. And it also comes up with many communication tools which are helpful like Microsoft Teams, Skype. I think everybody would have used this. It also comes up with many additional things which has an additional workspace. You can they also have something known as Microsoft Defender ATP, which works for their cloud services, Office ATP. So there are many products in Office 365 suite, and they have different subscription plans. You can go on their website and read more about it. So if you see in this picture, I've tried to illustrate what all is there in 365. Like you can see Office 365 can be helpful for SOC team members, wherein they can ingest the logs which are generated by Advanced Threat Protection (ATP). It can also be used for managing client, like if you have BOYD device wherein Windows, Android, iOS, you can deploy Intune policies. You can have MDM based policies which can control that device in your corporate environment. They also have many other services like cloud services. They have something in terms of identity service and things. So we'll move on Graph. What is Microsoft Graph? Basically, this is developed by Microsoft to provide a single point of connections for developer. So basically, it's a developer API platform wherein developers can connect on Microsoft Graph and use various Microsoft APIs to connect with their cloud products. It is not limited to O365 suite, but it also gives almost connectivity to almost all Microsoft cloud products. So if you can see in this picture, probably this will give you a better understanding of it. Like if you can see on the left hand side, Graph APIs can connect with documents, your conversations, your portal, timelines, search bar. It can also help you to build web apps, bots, and workflow automations. It can also connect to your Windows 10 services, maybe like Microsoft Defender ATP. It can connect with various other platforms as well. So let's have a look about the tool Calidus. The name was derived from a from a word sneaky. So sneaky, Latin meaning of sneaky is Calidus. Okay, Calidus was developed for learning and exploring the possibilities of leveraging legitimate services as command and control communication channel. Basically, in almost all organizations, Microsoft domains are whitelisted, and these domains are not monitored much. So if we try to develop or use some legit services for our command and control communication, probably will remain below the radar, and the possibilities of detection at a network level will be very less, because Microsoft traffic will be very heavy, and finding CNC based communication in that huge traffic might be difficult for the defenders. Okay, so what it does, it allows the operator to leverage O365 services to establish C2 communication channel, reduces the possibility of network level detection. This tool is developed using C# and it leverages Microsoft Graph API to communicate with O365 services. Currently, the tool supports three O365 applications. One is Outlook, OneNote, and Microsoft Teams. This is an high-level architecture of how the communication flow works of the tool. So basically, the victim will always connect over an HTTPS channel to graph.microsoft.com. This will be the domain, and will also utilize various APIs. And attacker has multiple options to connect so that he can pass on the message which the victim machine has to execute. So attacker can connect to graph.microsoft.com, or he can also leverage the applications directly which are there on the cloud, like Outlook, OneNote, and Teams. So I'll just talk about all tool which Office provides, like Outlook. I think everyone is aware of this. Outlook is very commonly used for email, and it can help you to manage your contacts, email, calendars, your day-to-day meeting, office meetings, and very commonly used in corporate environments. OneNote, again another common application heavily used for taking notes. Um, you can store notes, drawing, you can store screenshots, your audio clips, and many other things. And it helps you to manage those notes as well at the same time. Microsoft Teams is a collaboration tool which is used by many corporates for video meetings, for chatting within the corporate environment. What are the requirements to run Calidus? Basically, few requirements. One is you should have a valid Azure AD tenant account. This is required to configure the APIs which are required for accessing Outlook, OneNote, or Microsoft Teams. You need to have a permission to register application on Azure. You need to have permissions like mentioned below. Like for Outlook, you need to have directory.read.all API permissions. You need to grant those permissions basically for individual applications, and these permissions can be granted by creating an Azure application. So I'll just show you a screen. So basically, if you see on this screenshot, I have created an application named as Outlook C2. Okay, and you can see the permission API permission details. So if you see, there are 5 permissions which are mainly required. One is directory.read.all, second is directory.readwrite.all, third is mail read write, user.read.all, user.readwrite.all. Basically this permissions will help us to read data in the directory, create email, draft emails in the users folder, and many other things. Similarly, if you see, I have another app named as test auth. So 50 characters can apps create just to show possibility that the name of the app can be anything, and a single app can contain of calendars, Outlook, OneNote, and Teams. So it's not necessary that you have to create 3 different apps on Azure, assign permissions individually. You can have 3 different apps created for that. So we can move on to the demo. I have a few short demos. So let's have a demo. Look on the demo. So we'll start with Outlook one. So basically, so if you can see, I have 2 VMs which are running, both on a different network. Okay, and we'll just have a look on how things work. So in background of left hand side background, you can see I have my Outlook account open. I've created a folder known as demo. So what this tool will do is, first, whenever an attacker sends a message, that message will be created in a draft format at the user account. Okay, here the draft message will be created in a demo folder, and the message will contain the command which you want to execute, and at the same time the victim machine will pull the command, execute the command, and send the output back. And again the attacker machine will keep reading the output and show you on the console. Okay, in this ideal scenario, you ideally don't need a victim O365 account. You can use your own O365 account, and it is very difficult to detect, but we'll have a look at detection part as well in later session. So I'll start the Outlook server client. On the left hand side, it is an attacker VM. On the right hand side, we are having a look at the victim machine. So I have fired a command hostname. You can see a draft message was created with a hostname. I see a reply, right? Client 1. You can see that victim machine had replied. Then I'll fire few more commands, ipconfig, and I can see a response as well for ipconfig. Let's fire for netuser. I see netuser command as an input, and as well as the output. Okay, so basically you can do anything, whatever, like you can do with your CMD shell, right? I can start a PowerShell, I can start up another process, I can take another reverse shell, I can do n number of things here. So if you can see here, we were able to pop up in Kelsey as well. So whatever you can do with command line interface, you can do that with this shell as well. Okay, so this was a demo of Outlook, and I'm not sure if everyone observed that, but there were 2 things how the input and output was read. So if you see that whenever I was passing on the input from attacker side, the subject for that draft message was input, and in the body the command was passed, whatever command I am trying to type. Okay, and whenever I get an output of the particular command, the subject line for that message is output, and the body will contain the output if there is any data which is written. But if you see, the last command was I tried to start an Kelsey process using PowerShell. So basically due to that you cannot see an output. Let's try to roll it back to our last command. Maybe netuser can. So yes, you can see here we can see the output and the body for the user account on client 1 machine, that is the victim machine. Okay, so let's start with the second demo, OneNote. So in the OneNote scenario also I have the similar architecture. I have 2 VMs running. I have a server client which runs. I have a another client which will be executed on the victim machine. Okay, so let's type some commands. Hostname. Wait for a few seconds. And by default there is a delay added to each and every command. Okay, so that I don't trigger an alert on Microsoft side, like rate limiting rules. Okay, if you see on the left hand side on the server client, you don't see an output, right? Ideally the output here will be shown on the OneNote. Okay, so we'll go and refresh the screen to view the output. Okay, so we can see the output here. So let's go back a little bit. So if you see in this screen, basically I'm trying to create a to-do list in OneNote. Like for hostname, I try to create a to-do list. By default it gets created in a pending state. Okay, so the checkbox is unticked. As soon as the command is executed and another update is sent by the client to update the to-do list to complete, to mark it as completed, so that we know that the command is executed successfully. So if you see, ipconfig command should get updated within a second. So yes, in the background if you see, ipconfig to-do list is marked as completed. Okay, and in similar way we can also start process like what we did via Outlook. We can use OneNote for doing that. And yes, we can see that the Calci has been popped. Okay, so this was a demo about OneNote. Let's move it on to Teams. And I think this one was the best uh, thing which I wrote. I feel like, because Teams can again be accessed via your mobile. This is like in chatting application, and the commands are typed in the chat window console itself, like in Teams. So it is like while walking you can type some commands which will get executed on the victim machine. So let's have a look on here. Again, here also have two VMs running. One is victim, one is attacker. So let's try hostname, ipconfig. You can just keep bombarding few commands in chat message. As soon as the command is executed, you'll see the reply in the reply section of that particular message. So if you can see here, for ipconfig I have a reply back from the same user in the reply section of that message. So let's run this command and then view the output of those commands. So if you see here, for the hostname part as well, we have a reply client -01. For ipconfig we'll go above and then we'll expand that reply message, and we can see that the reply for ipconfig command as well. So the IP is of the victim machine. In similar way, you can execute any commands, and we see a Calci pop-up. You can execute any command, you can execute anything, whatever you can do with your normal shell using Calidus. So let's jump back to we'll look at some detection and prevention controls which might be helpful in your environment to protect or detect these types of attack. Probably this might be a very not a straightforward way to detect, but probably you'll have to do some baselining in your network to identify the processes running or connecting legit services like Microsoft domains. So like first detection can be if you can monitor any unknown process. Now in this scenario, you saw that I was running few clients that were custom built exes, right? So if you monitor some unknown process which is trying to connect with some legit sites like Microsoft.com, maybe tomorrow someone writes something on Google, so that might connect to Google.com, right? So if you see some processes which are trying to connect a legit site and if you see that those processes are not genuine in nature or ideally are not seen in your environment, probably those processes are trying to do this malicious thing. We can also monitor if you're capturing network traffic, you can monitor the callbacks to graph.microsoft.com. This is like I told you, it's a API platform built by Microsoft for all the developers. So if anyone wants to leverage Microsoft services for such type of communication, this will be an easy way to do things. You can monitor for parent-child relationships of unknown processes. Like example, Teams is trying to call a Kelsey. Teams trying to spin up PowerShell. Teams process is trying to spawn a new process, CMD. That can be helpful for your detection. You can monitor system files for like CMD, whoami, hostname, like which process is trying to call CMD, which process is executing whoami command, which process is trying to execute hostname. All those are various type of exe which are deployed on Windows system, like example whoami.exe, which can be found in your system's 32 folder, right? The prevention can be, you can implement app locker and Windows Defender application control policies, which can help you to prevent against unknown process executions or exe execution based attacks. But implementing this might not be an easy path. You might have to go through a lot of understanding and a lot of R&D you might have to do to implement in a proper manner, which is like foolproof. Okay, so that's it. Thanks to yet another security for granting me the privilege to present, and special thanks to my friends, family, everyone who helped me and supported me while developing this tool. And if you want to understand the tool functionality in detail, how to configure this tool, what all parameters are required, what all settings are required, I have a detailed blog about that. You can go find my blog, and the code is already online on GitHub. You can find the complete code base there. So thanks. We will wait for some questions. I think I already have one question. So I have one question from Acid Burn. That is that fat getting deleted after reading the output on the attacker side. Yes, the draft message is getting deleted as soon as the, so basically I'll just explain you the scenario. Once the attacker sends an input, that input is read by the client, the victim, where the malware is, the implant is running. Once the implant reads the message, it will send a delete request to delete the message, and then a new message with an output will be sent by the implant, and the server, the attacker client will read that message, and again that attacker will send a delete request to delete that output message. This will help us to keep the draft folder clean and neat. We don't need to manage sequencing and other stuff on this. So I hope I answered your question. So I have another question from Abhi. Will any antivirus be able to detect that? The time when I wrote this, there was no antivirus which detected this process. The demo was recorded on a machine where latest Defender was running, I recorded these demos somewhere in March, presented in Nalcon. Are there any plans to integrate any new O365 based application? Yes, I have some plans to integrate few of the applications. Let's see how things work out. Probably maybe in few months you might see some other modules getting added to this tool. I have few plans. Do we have any more questions? So where can we find this video? The demos are already published on my blog post, and the deck is also available on the GitHub. So you can find the link of the slides and just have a look on the slide. What would be the default parent process for detection? So basically, I just like I gave you an example. Let's assume that you're using module for Teams, okay, Microsoft Teams, and as soon as you see Microsoft Teams firing a process cmd.exe, or let's take an example. You were running a client teams client.exe, right? So if that is one of the unknown process that fires cmd.exe, that fires whoami, that fires hostname command, all those commands which an attacker is trying to run will run with a parent process id of that process, right? An unknown process is trying to spawn a new cmd, a new PowerShell command, and then trying to execute multiple other commands. That might be a example of parent process detection. Yes, the code is ready to use. You can use that code. The code is available on the GitHub. As I mentioned, you'll require an Azure AD tenant account to configure the tool. Do we have any more questions? If not, then we can wind up. We'll just wait for a minute or so. I think we don't have any questions, so we can end the stream. Thanks for joining. I hope it was useful and helpful for everybody. Maybe as a red teamer, as a pen tester, as a detection guy. If you have any queries, post this session, you can just ping me on Twitter. I'll try my best to help you and answer all the questions regarding the Calidus. So, thanks. Bye, guys. Hope to see you soon later.